here we are going to revise module 4. So the first thing that we have to understand from module 4 is what are external devices. So external devices is something which is going to provide an means of exchanging the data between our external environment and the computer. So computer is the which contains the CPU and the memory system. So in order for this computer to communicate with the real world, to the external environment, what is required? External devices are required. So external devices are the means of exchanging the data between the computer and the real world system. So between the external environment and the computer. Okay. So this is what external devices means. Now let's understand that an external device is attached to the computer by an I/O module. Okay, there is an I/O module which would connect this external device with the computer. The link is used to exchange the control status and data between the I/O module and the external device. You have to understand that between the external devices, there is a link. Okay, you cannot directly connect our external devices with the computer. So there is a link which basically connects attach the computer with this external device, and that link is known as the I/O module. And through this link, you can see through this link the data, the control status and all can be transferred between this I/O module and the external device. So external device cannot directly connect to the CPU itself. So instead they are connected through this I/O module, input output module. So a dedicated hardware interface. This input output module is a dedicated hardware interface that manages the communication between the device and the rest of the computer. Between these devices and the rest of the computer, there is a dedicated hardware, that is this I/O module. So it's a dedicated hardware interface that is managing the communication between the device and the rest of the computer system. So here the transfer of the control signals, the status, data and all would take place. Control means what? There are three types of signals which is traveling across the string that we told us. The first is the control signals. Control signals are the instruction telling the device what to do are the control signals. So control signals are what? The instruction which is telling the device that what you have to do. Status is the device reporting the current status. That is the actual information which is being exchanged. So you have to understand that our external device cannot directly connect with the CPU. So there is an interface between them, a link between them, that is the I/O module. So I/O module is actually which is link this computer and this external devices, and through this link the control data and status can be transferred. So this I/O module is nothing, a dedicated hardware which is basically an interface that manages the communication between the computer system and the external devices. So this is a dedicated hardware interface. Okay, the three signals I told you: control signals, status signals and data. Control signals is telling the device what to do. Status, so the device would report its current status using the status signals, and data is the actual information which is being exchanged here. Understood? So here you can understand that the term peripheral device is commonly used to describe external devices which is connected via the I/O. So take a moment of time to analyze this slide. So here you can see that there are three signals: the control, status and data. Okay, so control means what? This control signals will tell, okay, device what the device has to do. Now there is status signal. The status signal will tell what? The status signal would actually would be reported by the device. The device would say its current status, right, through this status signal. And data signal is the actual data which is being transferred between the I/O module and the external device. Okay, so I hope this slide is clear. So through this video I wanted, since it's a lot of by hearting thing, it is by heart and things, so we can very slowly, this though it's a revision, I wanted to learn it through this video itself. So that is why we'll be going very slowly here. Okay, so here, so the first slide we have discussed is what is external device. So external device, I told you, it is basically the device that is helps to exchange the data between the computer and the external devices, right? So between the external environment and the computer. So external device provides a means of exchanging this data between the external device, external environment and the computer. And the second thing we told that we cannot directly, the external device cannot directly get directly is not connected with the CPU or the memory or rest of the computer system. There is actually a dedicated hardware interface, that is the IO module, that would actually helps to link. It basically helps in the communication between the external devices and the rest of the computer. Okay, so there is this link. Now through this link, the control, status and data signals and all can pass. Okay, so control signals is basically the instruction which is telling the device what to do, and the status signals is the device which is reporting its current status, is the status signal, and data is the actual information that is being exchanged here. Now there are three categories of external devices. You can have human readable external devices are there, machine readable external devices are there, and communication devices are there. So now we have to understand that what are these categories of external devices. Human readable external device means it is suitable for communicating with the computer user. Okay, that is, these devices interface directly with the humans. They present information in the form of people can read or interact with, so which is suitable for communication with the computer user. Those devices which is used, those external devices that is used for communicating with us, communicating with the computer's user. So here these devices interface is directly with the humans, so they can present information in the which, so these external devices would give the information in the way that human can read and interact. Example is the video display terminals, that is the monitors and all, video display terminals, then keyboard, mic, printers, touch screen. So the direction input is also there, output also there. In both direction it can happen. Okay, so human readable devices are those devices which helps in the communication with the user interface. Okay, it is suitable for communicating with the computer user. That is what human readable devices are there. These devices are interfaced with whom? Directly interface. These devices interface directly with the humans. So these devices would present information in the way that could be understood and interacted by the humans, that is we people. Example is a video display terminals, that is video display terminals or monitors. Then you have the keyboard, touch screen, the printers and all of this. The direction can be input or output. Input can be keyboard to computer, output can be computer to monitor. Like that, in two direction it basically can happen. So the first category of external device is human readable device. The human readable device I use, that is they are suitable for communicating with the humans, suitable for communicating with the computer user. So these device has interface directly with the humans, so they will present the information in such a way that they can be understood by we people, where people can read and interact with these instructions. Examples are the video display terminals like monitors, keyboards, the printers, the touch screens. These are having direct interactions with the humans. Right, so it is suitable for communication with whom? Computer users. Now let's talk about machine readable device. Machine readable device are suitable for communicating with the equipments. So these devices are exchanging data with other machines or system, not humans directly. So data format is optimized for machine processing and not human readability. So machine readable devices are the opposite. Here these are suitable for communicating with different equipments, different other machines. Here the data is exchanged between other machines or other systems and not with humans. So their format would be in the machine processing format. So the data format here would be optimized for machine processing, for the machines to understand. That would be the data format, and it would be not in the way that human can read. Example is the magnetic disk drivers, tape systems, sensors, actuators. These are the things which are the examples of the machine readable devices. Then you have communication devices. This allows the computer to exchange data with a remote device, which may be human readable device, a machine readable device, or even other computer. The communication device are those devices which allows one computer to exchange their data with another remote devices. So that remote devices can be human readable, or it can be machine readable device, or even any other computer. But exchanging the data with another remote device is what happen in communication device, like Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, network interface card, modems, adapters, and all. So we have three categories of external device. First is human readable, which is suitable for communicating with the computer user. So they provide an interface directly. They are basically, these devices interface directly with whom? The humans, right? So here you have to understand, they would present the information in such a way that can be understood by humans. And the example of video display terminals are there, the monitors, the keyboard, the printers, the touch screens. These are direct interaction with the humans. Now machine readable device are those which is suitable for communication with other equipment. So they are basically exchanging the data with other machines or other other systems and all. Okay, so here what happened, no humans is directly connected here. So here the data format is optimized in such a way that it can be used for machine processing and not for human readability, the magnetic disk, tab drivers, actuators, sensors, and all of these things. Okay, now communication device are those devices which allows communication with other remote devices, that is allows computer to exchange their data with other remote devices, and that remote device can be human readable, machine readable, or even other computer it can be. So example is the Wi-Fi, the modems, the adapters, the network interface cards are the example of communication devices. Understood? Now let's see the nature of the external device. We told that there are three signals here. The interface to I/O module is in the form of control, data, and status signals. There are three signals here. Every external device communicates with I/O module using exactly three categories of signals. You have to understand that here every external device is communicating with this I/O module, right? You can see every external device is communicating with this I/O module through one link, and there are different three signals are basically there here. So three categories of signals we have to understand. First we have to understand about the control signals. The control signals determine the function that the device will perform. So it is about what the device will actually do, like such as say if the device has to send a data to the I/O module, or accept the data from the I/O module, or perform some other control function particularly to the device, example positioning and a disk and all. So whatever it has to perform, the control signals contains the commands which is sent from the I/O module to the device, telling it what action it has to perform. So it will tell the device what it has to do. That is the command. So control signals are the commands which is given from the I/O module to the device, which is telling the device to do something, either to give the data to the I/O module, that is to read, so the I/O module can read, or to accept the data from the I/O module, output or write. Or some devices, if I'm taking magnetic disk drives, they have to position the disk head, right? So some has some control would be particular to that particular device, or do some other control functions which is device specific functions, either it can do that. So this control signals are the commands which is given by the I/O module to the device to do some action. It can be input or read action, output or write. Input or read action means what? The data is given to the I/O module. Output or write means we are accepting the data from the I/O module, and it will be controls would be also function specific to a particular device. Device specific function would be that would be like, example is like moving the disk read from disk read head to track file, like that. So here, so these control signals we have. Okay, so the first thing is the control signals. Next is data signals. Now data signals, I told you, data like other, which is the actual information, the real information, that is the actual content which is flowing in either direction. It can be flow between the device, like from the device to I/O module, or from the I/O module to device. So in both direction it can go. So it carries the actual content. For example, if you consider a keyboard, this is a key code. For a disk, it is the for a keyboard, the key code would be the data, and for disk it would be the bytes being read or written. For disk, that would be the data. Okay, so data signals can be anything. That is the actual content that is can be transferred between the device and the I/O module. For a keyboard, if you consider the key code would be the data. For the disk, if you take its byte, the disk byte which it reads or write would be the data, like that. Now status signals indicate the state of the device, in what state the device is currently. Example, the device can be in the ready state, the device can be not in the not ready state, or if an error occur, it can show something went wrong, error state, or done. If operation completed, done state is the. So it shows that whether the device is ready or not. The current state of the device, current condition. Ready means the device is available and is preparing for the transfer. Not ready means the device is busy and it is warming up and it is not, it is unavailable. So not ready means the device is not there, device is actually busy. Device is available and if it is ready to do any transferring operation and all, it will say it is ready. That ready status signal it will give. If the device is not ready means if the device is busy or it is unavailable, then not ready signal would be given. If any error and all occur, then error signals will be given. And if any done signal is come, means that the operation that is given to the device has been completed. That is what the done signal means. Okay. So this is about the different signals which is basically the. So right now we have understood these many things, that is what is external device. External device is something which provides a means of communication between whom. It provides a means of communication between the external, means of exchanging the data between the external environment and the computer. Okay, like it helps to communicate with the real world, right? So they cannot be directly connected to the CPU or the memory. So there is a special hardware interface, okay, hardware interface that is going to connect this, helps in communication of this external device with the rest of the computer. So there is a link that would help us to do that, and through this link control, status and data signals will go. Control signals are those which tells the device what to do. Status signals will say the current status of the device. Data signals is the real content which is basically going to transfer between them. Then I told that there are three categories for external device. Human readable external device are there, machine readable external device are there, communication device there. Human readable is used for communicating with the computer's users. That is, they provide an interface directly to communicate with humans. Okay, so they present the information in such a way that it can be understood by humans. Examples is what we told, that video display terminals, the monitors, the printers, the mics, the touch screen and all of that. Machine readable devices are those which are suitable for the communication with other equipment. So they allow the exchange of data between other machines or other systems and not with humans directly. So they are presenting the data in the format that it can be used for optimized. It is optimized in such a way that it is used for machine processing and not for human readability. Example is magnetic disk drives, as I told you. Tape systems are there, sensors are there, etc. The communication device, it allows the communication, exchange of data between other remote devices, and that remote devices can be human readable devices, or it can be machine readable devices, or even other computers. So these device connects the computer to what a remote system it would connect the computer. Examples are the Wi-Fi adapters, network interface card, Bluetooth and all. Now, if you understand that there are three signals we are having, the control signals we are having, the data signals we are having, and finally we have the status signals. Now, control signals means what? The control signals will determine the function. Okay, it will say that it would give, it is the command which is given by the input output module, which will tell what the function that the device has to do, whether it has to read the data from the input output module, or whether it has to write a data to the input output module, or whether it has to do its control, its device specific any function it has to do. All this is decided by those commands, which is the control signal. So input or read means what? The data from the I/O module we are sending the data from the device to the I/O module. Output or write means from the I/O module you are writing the data to the device, and device specific function is like moving the disk to a track file, like that. Now data signal is the actual content that is there between these devices, the actual content, which is the actual information which is going to flow between the device and the I/O module. For a keyboard, if it's saying, it would be the key code. If I'm considering it for the I/O, for the disk and all, it would be the byte that it read and write. And now start.